Hey, Mr. Clutch here, and have a look at this 100% destruction war recap. Gauntlet League, Guns and Honey defeated Bounty Hunters. Perfect war, 100% destruction to 94.96, 75 stars to 69. Going to show you a few attacks in this one. I'm going to show an 11, 2 10s, and 2 9s. Now, normally I would just pick the fastest attacks all around. However, there are a few little reasons not to do that this time. But before we get into the attacks, just want to give a shout out to the 6-star people. These are the people that did 2 3-star attacks in the war. That is Ditto, Town Hall 10, Ditto. We've got Crimson Warrior, Phoenix, Your Mum, The Thing, Mr. Garav, Town Hall 9, Ditto, One Eye Cyclops, and Mini Shirl. Okay, so let's have a look at what we can see here. Obviously, everything was 3-starred. Now, before we, let's just get into it. Otherwise, I'll drag this up. End up dragging this out. Okay, so this was not the fastest Town Hall 10 triple, but it had something interesting in it that I wanted to show. Couple of little interesting things. So both of them use the same troop combination too, by the way. That is 10 giants, 10 witches, and the rest bowlers. Slightly different spell combination. So the other one took a heal in the clan castle, and we don't have that here in this case. I think we had 2 spells in the clan castle here, possibly, or it might have been a rage in the clan castle. I think it looks like it was a rage in the clan castle. So Siege Machine going across, obviously the Siege Machine targets the Town Hall. So when you do those sorts of attacks, you do have to keep in mind whereabouts am I going to place the Siege Machine. Now have a look at the Siege Machine here. It's stuck. The Siege Machine is stuck. Its wheels are turning. The ram is not pummeling in and out. It is stuck on a wall. Supercell knows about that, so at that point there's really no point continuing. So you're going to see here interesting use of the Skelly spell. There we go. The Skelly spell's dropped. It does help distract some things. Unfortunately, I don't think he got much use out of it because just as all those skeletons came around, the other troops triggered the big bomb. So I think all the skeletons died in the big bomb. So yeah, we've got a stuck Siege Machine. Supercell does know about that. And it is a bug fix, so I'm anticipating that when we have the next maintenance break or something like that, I think somewhere towards possibly the end of September or even something as a lead up into the Halloween October festivities, that we're probably going to be having a fix update to fix the bug that is the Siege Machine getting stuck on a wall. Now, the other thing here is also interesting, really good on the timing here, and that is as these troops start to come around, just as the Expo just finishes with that last, and there we go. So it never locks onto the Queen. Of course, if it had locked onto the Queen, it wouldn't have mattered because you've got the bowlers and the witches then to take it out. So instead of the Expo locking onto the Queen, in the Skellies, it would have locked onto the Queen, and it was still going to be the same result anyway. So that was a nice little 3-star from Ditto up there at Town Hall 11. Now we're going to have a look at one of Town Hall 9 attacks. Crimson did get a 6-star in this war. That's 2 3-star attacks. Now in this one, he's bringing in a Frozen Witch. Now, as you would have seen in the Frozen Witch video I've done, if you haven't seen that, do check it out. I'll put a link up there at the top at the moment. Basically, you'll see that one side has the healers on it, and you can see why. If you put the healers on this side, by the time they get down here, the air defense will nuke the healers. But by coming the healers on the side opposite the air defense, or the side that's least going to be attacked by air defense, so that way your witches get the maximum healing possibility. So I've got the free spell. Now, of course, Frozen Witch is all about using free spells a lot. So there's another free spell. Freezes the clan castle. Now, there was something interesting that I was watching in one of the other attacks, and that is a witch was frozen and poisoned However, skeletons still came out from the witch. So that was while the witch was frozen. So that was a little bit of an interesting thing to see. We did notice this clan did have quite a few bases where one Inferno was set to multi. I'm not sure if it was designed to try and stop witch skeletons or a bow witch attack or something like that. It can stop bow witch under certain circumstances, but for the most part, it didn't really make any difference. As you can see, we 3-starred all of their bases. Multiple freezes on the geared up Archer Tower to help get the Archer Tower down, and there it was. So if the Archer Tower, if those freezes hadn't been used, then that would have taken out the troops here sooner, and that Archer Tower still would have been up ready to nuke some of these skellies and things like that. Queen's ability still not used, so you knew it was going to be a 3-star pretty early on the raid. One of the surprising things with the Frozen Witch is the lack of tanking, and you at first think to yourself, there's no way the witches are going to be able to do this, but they do. With the aid of the free spells to get on top of some of the weapons and stop the weapons from destroying all the skeletons, it just enables more and more skeletons to come out onto the field of play. Field of battle. Okay, let's have a look at another Town Hall 10 attack. Okay, so here we have, this one's 1 minute 35. Now, one of the other attacks we had at Town Hall 10, it was a little bit quicker from when the main troops got deployed. However, there were some little archers and things that were scattered around, so they took up a little bit of time. So let's get on with this. 1.5 minutes only in this attack. Bow Witch, showing the power of the Bow Witch, being able to be used on many bases. Now, you will remember from the traditional Bow Witch type of thing, you always needed a way to path through to both Inferno towers using the jump spells, because you're going to use 2 jump spells. But this is just showing the power of Bow Witch is really coming to its own now with the addition of the Siege Machine in conjunction with the freeze spell going down to 1 spell slot. So that gives you a little bit of ability to get an extra freeze on. Now you can see that jump spell, bit of a rage here, got another heal spell ready to drop. And there we go. The heal spells drop. So anything that comes into that area, it will get healed up a little bit as well. Now you can see the Teslas have popped up that far in. The Queen, she's going to decide at some point, do I want to shoot a wall or do I want to take a jump? Now she did take the jump, but she probably took that jump reluctantly. Now you'll look at the witches on this side. You've still got, well, remember we brought 10 witches in on this one. So you've got 3 over there. You've got 3 in the middle. So that's 3, 6 witches here. Now we'll have to have a look on this side here, but it looks at least like 3. So it's possibly 4 witches on that left side. No, it's yeah, it's hard to see the number of witches, but it's if he's lost 1, he's lost 1. If he's lost any, he's lost 1. That actually looks like 4 witches there. So in that attack, he did not lose a single one of his 10 witches, which is rather remarkable. Okay, let's have a look at a couple of 9s now. Alrighty, now this 9 is a Queen Walk, and I liked the planning that went into this one to help try and get the Queen to path in the direction that was wanted, and then the rest of the troops come in. So Queen Walk, go boho, obviously. So you've got balloons coming in to take out the archers. Now this was not a fresh hit. So the Archer and the Tesla were known about. So splash damage taking out the Tesla, or crash damage, I guess you could say, from the old days when the balloons had a little bit more health, or the Archer towers had a little bit less health, I should say, where you could take out an Archer tower with 1 balloon drop and 1 balloon crash. It doesn't work that way anymore. But nice little funnel getting created on the left-hand side. Queen's Rage, keeping her up under the threat of the point defense, the Expo and the cannon. Wall breakers in safely, and now here can come the bowlers. No one's going to path. Wizards will take out that archer pretty quickly. The bowlers will have to go in. Now I've got another jump spell. It doesn't quite get the queen, but with an extra rage spell to throw in there, the rage troops can take a jump spell even if it doesn't necessarily go over the wall. The rage helps them carry the jump spell further than just the boundaries of the jump spell, which is a little bit of a quirk in the game. So we've got the hog deployment coming in now, coming straight onto these wizards because there's no choice. The wizards are the furthest weapons out, so the hogs will encounter the wizards first off. Couple of pups now going to be chasing the hogs around a little bit. One heal spell left to go, and that's for the hogs over at the bomb tower. And the queen will eventually take out the expo, which is currently shooting at the healers. So that was pretty fortunate. The king's still up. Queen's ability still not used, which is pretty good for a Town Hall 9 Queen Walk attack. Second big bomb goes off over there. Hogs survived it though because they had full health from the healers. And that will be all she wrote for this base. Bowlers are still up. You'll notice here on the left-hand side, you've still got 4 bowlers up. And the king is still up. He's now back to full health thanks to the healers. Hogs will take out just the trash all coming around. And of course, what's an attack at Town Hall 9 without the queen shooting a wall and even changing her mind? That's it. I don't want to get through that wall that I was almost shot through. I'll change my mind and shoot through another wall. So obviously, the calculations of the AI are a little bit awry at the moment. Anyway, that's a lovely little attack from Gaurav, who also did a 6-star wall. On to the last one. Okay, here we are. Last attack. It is a witch attack. And it is my witch attack. Now, I've chosen this one for a few reasons. One, it's the fastest one. Like I said, I do like to try and give the fastest attack unless I can reveal something or we can learn something. Now, in this case, we can learn something, and that is don't use this base. What the enemy clan did was they used this base multiple times, and I took them out. I took both of them out. Same combination. And the way that I did it was by watching first what they had done to one of our clanmates who had this same base. So it obviously comes from a same source. I don't know whereabouts our clanmate found it. The enemy found it as well. They had one that was almost identical to my clanmate's, which unfortunately he wasn't on to allow me to practice. So I just looked at their attack on his base, and they had slightly different troops to what I do. But I just thought, yeah, look, I'll come in something similar. I'll deploy a little bit differently. And then this base was 90-degree offset. So setting a base 90 degrees to one side, like if you see a base and you just twist it 90 degrees, it can be a good idea, but don't do it when you bring multiple of the same base in the war. So obviously no one really went through and checked all the war bases from the enemy clan, otherwise they would have seen it. So, but that's enough from me. Let's just get into the attack and see how it was. A minute and a half. There we go. 1 minute 31 from the first troop drop. Witches down. Wizard's about to go down. I'm holding off that golem. The reason I'm holding the golem is because I don't want it to do what this golem's doing, starting the path all the way over to the mortar. I want it to be able to just jump straight in if it can. So that's what it looks like it's doing. So everybody in. Witches, wizards, good lot of pile of witches on this side. Wizard's going to go down that side. Nice little collection of wizards and witches on this right hand side. Everybody in through the middle. Jump spell over the second expo, so that gets through to the expo section. And I think there are a whole bunch of Teslas up on this side. Teslas aren't really much of a concern for a bunch of witch skeletons coming when they're backed up, as long as you've got a good collection of witches. And I've got 4 of my witches down here, so half of my witches are at the bottom, and I've got 2 witches over there. I think I've got a witch, or possibly I've got 2 witches in with the queen, so I haven't lost a witch at this stage in the attack. I possibly will lose one to a bomb or something like that, but at this stage of the attack I haven't lost a witch. So this cannon is thankfully just hooked up onto this golem, so that's where it will remain the whole time. And now here we go. Massive amounts of skellies coming from this side, massive amounts of skellies coming from the right hand side. In that lovely little pincer movement, game over for the base. And that was that. That's all she wrote for this war. Let's have a look at the statistics to see what we achieved. So we didn't use all the attacks. Obviously, we didn't need to. Once we'd achieved the 100%, there wasn't really any other need to have all the rest of the attacks done. Most of the bases we had, the Town Hall 9s were cleared pretty early, so we had just about every base up top scouted by Town Hall 9s. All the Town Hall 10s were 2-starred by Town Hall 9s, if I remember correctly. And a couple of scouts on the Town Hall 11s up top as well to help us out, just to see if there were any tricky Teslas. So 25 3-stars versus 20, and you can see that's where it is. 100% average destruction, obviously, and whatever those mean. So that is it. Guns and Honey defeated Bounty Hunters in the Gauntlet League, no dip division, 75 to 69. So out of those attacks, do please let me know which one you liked the most. I actually got a little bit of a kick out of the Frozen Witch as an attack because I think it's one of those deceptively powerful attacks, but you might have thought that you liked something else different, so do please let me know which one of those you preferred instead. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.